CBS has a show called Hawaii Five-0. Not the old one, the revitalized version of it. And they just lost 2 of their main cast members out of the 4. Here's a photo of the cast. So the 2 Asian Americans are Grace Park and Daniel Day Kim. You'll recognize them from Battlestar Galactica and Lost. They just wanted to get paid as much as the other co-stars Alex O'Loughlin and Scott Caan. And that all fell apart. And so they will not be back this next season, which guess what season it is? How long do you think this show has been on?
No, I would have never guessed it right. I saw it in the article. I would have guessed like, wow, has it been on for 2? No, maybe even 3 years. Turns out
168 episodes. So this will be its 8th season.
Hawaii Five-0 has been on for 7 freaking seasons?
Yeah.
That might be longer than the original.
Yeah, so Daniel Day Kim said he had made himself available for the negotiations, but they fell through because he was not gonna get paid as much as his other co-stars. And I don't watch the show, but I assumed it was like, the reason I know it is because of Jin and Battlestar Galactica girl. So that's it. I know Scott Caan, but whatever. Anyhow, he says, as an Asian American actor, I know firsthand how difficult it is to find opportunities at all, let alone play a well-developed 3-dimensional character like Chin Ho. I will miss him dearly, he said. Though transitions can be difficult, I encourage us to all look beyond the disappointment to this moment to the bigger picture. The path to equality is rarely easy. And then he gets a little dig in saying, I've got new acting projects on the horizon. And as a producer, my company 3AD has its first show, The Good Doctor, set to air this fall on ABC. I hope you'll tune in.
Yeah, so he was very gracious. He actually thanked a couple of the executives at CBS by name.
Kurtzman and Orsi.
Yeah, and given what happened, that's surprising. So bless his heart for being gracious about it overall. So what was the big difference between the 2 sets of actors? Well, the white actors got 2% more, and you're thinking they lost. I mean, CBS says we offered them a lucrative contract and larger than what we were offering them before. They didn't say they offered them the same as the white actors, though. They just said it's large. Now, if you think they're going to war over 2%, no, that's not what the problem is. Okay, although on principle, I suppose you could. No, the white actors get points, which means that they can get a percentage of the show's revenue in the future. And they went over 100 episodes, which means that they could actually go into syndication and get a ton of money in reruns.
Yep.
Right? But the Asian actors will not be getting them. Now, if you said, look, they happen to be Asian, and those guys happen to be white, but the white guys are more famous, like if it was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, I would totally agree with you on that and go, hey, look, just because they're Asian doesn't mean that they get to be as famous as the other guys, right? And I know Asians don't have as many roles, and maybe that's unfair in some ways, but in this case, that's not true. The Asian actors are more famous than the white actors.
I mean, let's be fair. It's when I describe these people, I say Battlestar Galactica girl, James Caan's son, the guy from that movie with J-Lo, and then Jin. So I've only really named one person by the actual name of the character. And so I know him the best. He should be the one making all the money. But they say it's a true ensemble cast. The best part about the statement, I will add the graphic 20A. This is from Peter Lenkoff, the EP and showrunner, the executive producer. He says, Hawaii Five-0 has and will continue to showcase one of the most diverse casts on TV. And then he goes, some of my best friends are Shai McBride, Jorge Garcia, Mark Dacascos, and then just lists all these people, and it goes on. There's another graphic with people's names, as well as Daniel and Grace. All of these great talents, regulars are reoccurring. It's just like, that's the part that gets me, is like, no, we still have a very diverse cast, we just won't pay them as much.
Yeah, and look, by the way, they should get credit for having a diverse cast, although it's cast in Hawaii. So if you had an all-white cast in Hawaii, it'd be a little weird, right? But bless your hearts. Now just take the extra step, which is not that hard, of paying them the same amount of money. And I know there are a lot of different factors, but and you can disagree on who's more famous. But these guys are at worst at the same level. And it's an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense to pay them the same amount.
All the people on Friends went to bat together and said, listen, we all want to get paid the same amount because we're equal billing, and they got it. So I don't know, that's a shame.
If you like the Young Turks, you'll love Young Turks membership. TYTnetwork.com/join.